All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the session here today. My name's Rodrigo, and I'm going to be here with Nick Chahine, lead trader from the options inner circle chat room, where he's trading the entire day, Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. I'm a little sick today, so we're going to try to keep it, somewhat short. Big shout out, Chris Moore, David L. Brown, Yuan Yao. Good to see you again. My cat says hello to everybody here too. Big shout out to Katie, an amazing human being there. Let's go. And I think we have Nick Chahine on the back. Let's go ahead and bring him on. What's going on, Nick? Can you hear me?
I can hear you fine. Yep.
It's good, man. Good. So I know the chat room has been it's been very active these past couple of weeks, right?
Yeah. So we're busy. We're a little bit busier than before because I think you guys did a couple of promos for us, and the people that are in there love you for it because days like today is proof positive why you should never ever trade alone again. So if I had a selling point, and I know I have members in here because they asked me, do I have to be there? I was like, absolutely not. You spent 9 hours with me today. You do not need to be here. You should not, you're not members. If you're not members, you should find a group that helps you trade better. When you're trading in a group, regardless of how good that group is, your level immediately jumps up. And if the group is good, then the benefit is tremendous. And I'm not just talking about my efforts. The group of traders that are inside the inner circle chat room, it has a high IQ, and it varies. I'll show you. We have people who like to buy shares, people who like to use the futures, people who trade options, people who trade options on the futures, people who do both. So we have perma bears, perma bulls, but no belligerent people. Everybody offers their opinion. A lot of people share their trade setups. I help organize the action, and I'll show you what I did today, which is pretty incredible in a day as tough to peg as today. Give me, where are we here? Where's the chat room? Let me open up my chat room.
Yeah,
Okay,
folks, we're going to show you everything that goes on there.
Yeah. I'm going to show you everything. I'll share my screen in a second, but first, I want to see. Show me a 1 in the chat room if you found the action today somewhat confusing. You made a huge mistake. You trade alone, so don't do that. Was today tough to trade? Show me a 1. Be honest about it. You're not alone. I promise you. The market makers are all confused today. A whole bunch of 1s just got in the chat. I see a Corey here. Is that the same Corey? A whole bunch of 1s. So let me show you what we did today. Hi Esteban. How is it? How can we eliminate this? It's not that we were certain what's going to happen, but we knew what not to do. We caught a few opportunities that were unbelievable. So I'm going to steal away the screen away from you and see what I can share here. I think this one. Yeah. Again, now the chat is gone somewhere. There it is. And Zoom, I don't know who designed it, but anytime you share a screen, everything just moves. You set it up nicely and just everything goes away. All right, so let me start with the grand finale first. I'm going to start with the close. So I'm on the West Coast. So for me, 9:30, that's like 3 hours into the day in the morning. At 9:31, focus on this area. I know it's busy. I'm going to focus you on the important part. This is the SPX all day. Look how confusing it was. Look how many lines. I drew these lines as we were going along, and I'll walk you through today. So I'm going to show you why, if you were in the room with us today, you had an opportunity to not lose money and to make money out of thin air. Okay, so let's start from the get-go. From the very first minute they opened, somebody jumped in and says, hey, Nick, actually the open for me is 6:30 a.m., somewhere before here. They said, what about an iron condor for today? I said, whoa, it's pretty early. I'm not doing it, but here it is. And I offered an iron condor. It paid almost $1 per contract out of thin air. To open that trade, you needed no money out of pocket. In fact, you collect money. You put money at risk, but the reward was 25% almost. Let's say 20%. Okay. So that was from the get-go. That's the first tick. And then blah, 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 things happened. Somewhere around here, I said, okay, we have a bearish setup. These two can happen. And guess what? Headline broke out. I kid you not, within 12 minutes of me drawing these two arrows. I said, I'm watching the RSI to weaken. And if the RSI goes below 0, these two arrows are target 1 and target 2. 12 minutes later, whoa, the whole market falls apart and everybody goes, headline, it's all Apple's fault. Okay. So if it was Apple's fault, how lucky was I to know the news ahead of time, 12 minutes? It wasn't Apple's fault. What the headline did is just expedited the price action that was going to unfold anyway, and it made it slightly bigger. So it didn't create a dip. It just made it more violent. And then this happened. So we came down here and I said, I'm going long into support from prior action via this credit put spread. So you're keeping track. The first trade delivered 25%, let's say 20% yield on the risk. This trade delivered 40%, 42, I'm doing air math, percent yield. I collected $220 to buy the dip, and I collected money to open the trade. And I put at risk $300, but it doesn't matter because it ended up dying worthless. However, I did close it for about $1. So I left money on the table and I said, I'm closing mine. You can do what you want, but I suggest you close yours. A lot of people didn't. I know it because they fessed up at the end and they made $220 or let's say $190 if they didn't collect $220 per contract. That was a second opportunity. And then the big one came. Somewhere around 9:30 my time, so about this time, 3 hours into the day, somebody said, what is your data saying we're going to end up at the close today? The reason they ask, there are so many trades that make money off of that. You can set up iron condors, you can set up iron butterflies, you can set up some sort of a condor also that can pay. You can do several things to make money off of that statement. So I said, let me look. And I looked at the SPY data, which is available to you. It's any platform will give you that data. I go into here, SPY. I look at these things here. I'll show you. I'll put you on the right track. And let me see here. I'll put you on the right track if you want to study that. And I said, I think we closed at 3957. Can anybody tell me what the close was in the SPX? Today's close? My guess was 3957. 3957.4 something. So I missed it by 40 cents from 9:30 in the morning. So that trade, look what happened in between. And we ended up exactly where. So you're saying big deal. So you got lucky. I was like, I didn't get lucky. I do this often. So what did I do with that information? What I did is I opened risk. I opened an iron condor, which is this one. I said, okay, knowing that we're going to close around 3957, I'm going to bet that we don't go to 3990. I'm going to bet we're not going to go to 3945. And I'm going to collect $140 for that bet. And that bet played out to maximum gains. Also caveat, when it went down to 40 cents, 45 cents, 55 cents, I said, close it, close it, close it, close it, close it, close it. Leave money on the table. Most people did. Some people didn't. They fessed up at the end. So those are how many opportunities now to make money without spending a nickel. None of these trades had needed me to spend any money. Anytime I open a credit spread, I collect money. If I'm right, I win. If I'm wrong, I may owe some losses. Now, these two trades delivered 400, 500%. I'll show you the posts from the people. I didn't trade them because I can't trade that fast because I'm organizing the stuff. So, but people jumped on with puts. When I did this, there's a gentleman by the name of Ryan. He might be here. I'm not sure. out of the blue, when we did these drops, thank you, Nick. I just had 50%, and then a little bit later, wow, I'm up to 300% or whatever the number he was up, because he saw me draw the arrows. He's been in the room long enough to actually take the trade based on my information. So the information is out there. It's up to us to use it. So this bit of information here allowed me to, one, take a trade that takes nothing to win. All I needed is the SPX be inside of a range that I thought was statistically viable to win. So all this was today, all of it. Even late in the day, I said, we have the opportunity to do this green thing right here. Somebody traded that and they made money out of 35 cents. They bought a last minute, William, they bought a last minute. Thanks for being here. You don't need to be here. Just get out of here. Go, get out. So it was a 35-cent put with like minutes to go. I forgot how much they made money. So I'm glad you're here, Yuan. Let me show you. I think this was today. Okay, that was the close. I showed you that already live. You don't need to look at it. All right, this is Steven. Your SPX ending predictions have been very solid since I've been in the room. I don't know how long he's been in the room. Mary made money. Mary's always there. Happiest trader on the planet. This guy right here, Solus, he shares charts, levels, quotes from Tradie Ticks. He keeps us with the money flow, the algo flow. I can rely on him. I don't have to do it. Sean was reporting on volume. Danny's there to learn. This is the way you do it. Danny's there to learn. That's what we want. We want to learn. So this is also today. Feel free to share. Al, funniest guy on the planet. Al, he's got crazy stories. I tell you what, he's got stories about shorting oil when. Never mind. I won't divulge it. But it was great information from Al. So here's an interesting fact from Al. That's Al's quote, not mine. Al is saying, I have not had a losing day since he got to meet and learn options the inside way. So Al is making money. So this is a run-up trade that I suggested. Right here, I said, based on this green thing, you can hardly see it, this green M, I said, statistically, we have a rally. By the way, you see that arrow up here? That also played out. So I said, if I were a trader, active trader, I would go long against this bounce level back here and the fact that we have a harmonic with upside potential. And I double clicked and I showed the RSI was also triggering. So that was a trade that delivered a lot of money because that rally was incredible today. This is just one picture. It went way bigger. And Daniel says, freaking A, Nick's lines are money. That's Daniel's comments, not mine. Here's somebody sharing their own trade setup. I believe this might be Solus. No, never mind. That's me sharing here because I was answering Solus. Do we have good recommendation books? No. I learned everything, Marco, on my own. So I don't know what to read. Okay, so what about here? This is from yesterday. Thanks for the heads up earlier. Saved a lot of bucks on closing it. So I must have told David to do something earlier, and he did it, and he's thanking me in a private message. Hi, Roxanne. Solus, keeping us tab on new low of day. Jim, are you still holding the credit put spread? I closed mine at break even a while back. Them breaking even, look how they're helping each other. So Jim is asking me something. David jumps in and says, I closed mine a while back. I think that was the intent. So what I'm saying is it's a community of traders. It's not all about Nick. I mean, Nick's funny and everything, but it's a community of traders. Let's see here, Pat. I did not catch your complete suggestion at 150. So I got this trade, SPX 3975, 3980, expiring 11/21. When was that? Oh, that was last week. For 50 cents. I just bought it back for about 8% win, which is okay. So he's basically learning. He's asking me to cover it. So I'm pretty sure I went in and I covered it. Here's somebody followed you, credit call spread, closed it at 10 cents. Made out very nice. Thanks, Nick. So what am I saying? These are traders that are making money every day. So this stuff happens every day. So the live room, which is what you're looking at, I'm in it over 9 hours a day. I promise. I promise I'm in it before 4 o'clock my time. I shouldn't say that. Before 6 o'clock my time, even though I'm there in the fours. And I'm out when the market closes, sometimes later. And the style of traders in there, they're all over the map. Here's Jack. He uses MES, which is the futures contract, the micro, I believe. The ES is the mini, which is the big contract. Don't be fooled by the mini name, E-minis. And the MES is the micro, which is 1/10 of the mini. And he needed this win bad, whatever happened back then. He got direction from our comments. Oh, so I drew the price action and it unfolded exactly how I drew it. So he got his win. By the way, 310 traders, 303, 319. We had 340 today at one point, 301, 172, but that was after hours. So they had gone home. And today we had 330, 340. Let's see, did we do this one? Krailman contributes all day. Let's see here. I took 3940. Wow, same levels from the 16th. Same levels. The Yeezy. Wow. Okay, so check it out. The Yeezy is my name for a special iron condor that we do. If price is here, and I think we're going to be somewhere else, what I do is I sell a very tight iron condor around where that somewhere else is. And I usually collect a lot of money compared to my usual very conservative setups. And if I'm right, we make easy money if it rallies towards it. So we don't have to be perfect. We just need to know that, hey, there's a burst coming one way or another, up or down, and we place our risk there. And if the burst comes, we profit by closing it early, but it's easy money. So I call it the easy. That particular day, Chicago, which by the way, I learned some new stuff about him, which was incredible. He was in my intensive program through Benzinga. You should check it out. 16 weeks we spent once a week for like an hour and a half talking and teaching, and helped him manage through a whole bunch of stuff. So he took a $2 credit collected, $2 per contract. So if he did one contract, which I know he didn't, he did many more, he collected $200. If he did 10, you collect $2,000. And he closed it for 12.5 cents. So let's say he closed it for 15 cents. So if he did 10, he collected $200. He closed it for 150 to win. Andy 750, whatever that was, I don't know what it is. So here I am, not boasting. I'm showing you that this schmutz works. Trading in a group works. So you're saying, I don't have time to be in this room, Nick. Okay, I got you. Listen up. Everything I just said, everything is not part of the program. This is all gravy. I do it because I want to do it. The promise that I did to Benzinga a decade ago was me share about one trade a day that anybody can take anywhere. So if you have a job, if you're an engineer like me, by the way, I'm an electrical engineer. I don't do it anymore. If you're an engineer, if you're a teacher, if you're this or you're that, if you're a salesperson and you don't have time to be in a live room all day, this is the service for you. So what do I do? I share trade setups. I share credit spreads specifically, but I do offer other trades. But the idea was for me to teach people how to create income without out-of-money expense and with a little bit of knowledge, not willy-nilly credit spreads, which are pretty dangerous, but it is very specific. I'll give you a perfect example. Apple fell off a cliff today based on some headline. China, blah, 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 Apple, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so if you do homework and you see that this drop was ridiculous based on emotional reaction to a headline, you can take a bet that Apple is not going to continue at this rate for too long, and you place a bet. No different than you think Apple is going to rally, you buy calls, you buy shares, and then you need a rally to win. In my example, I don't need a rally to win. I just need it not to collapse, and I win. And opposite, CMI, I thought it was too far away, it was too extended, too high. Let me see here. Let me show you. This is a perfect example. This is CMI, and I shorted it for the group, not in the live room. This was a write-up. It went up to you. If you were a member and you cannot be in the live room and you're just reading my reports that I post twice a day, twice on the weekends in videos, then you would have gotten a note from me saying, I'm picking a fight with CMI. I would like to short it. And here's the way I'm shorting it. And I'm trying to remember what I did. Where is it? 6. Bear with me one moment, please. Ultimates. CMI, there we go. On Wednesday, the 23rd. Well, there. So on that day, around 7 a.m. my time, I posted I want to short CMI. And the way I did it, I didn't buy puts. I could have. I didn't sell the stock short. I never. You shouldn't either. I didn't sell calls. There you go. I sold a credit call spread. So I said, this thing is extended. How did I know it? I'm learning new things. Somebody mentioned Wolf Wave to me. I said, I don't know what that is. So I started learning it. I was like, this thing is pretty incredible. So part of me learning, I said, this is a risky trade because I'm using tools that I haven't used before. It's called the Wolf Wave. I've nailed every level so far. My timing is way off. So I said, I'm shorting CMI. I sold the call spread $10 wide right there, and I collected $550 in premium. My risk was $460, but I did not need a drop to win. I just needed, actually, I did need a little drop, and I needed not to rally anymore. And this is what happened thereafter. So that trade yesterday, I believe, was $380. So I collected $550. I sent out a note. I said, okay, so the trade delivered pretty quickly, a substantial amount of the total risk, and there's still 50 days on the clock. This is a January contract. So I said to myself, to people, I said, if I were you and if I have a lot of trades open, I should trim some winnings here and there. And this would be one. So I sold and collected $550 to open the trade. If I did 10, I collected $5,500. I can pay $3,800 to close the bet. And risk is off. I keep the difference as profit. So I would have created $1,000 or $1,800 or whatever that difference is. I can't do math right now. $1,700 out of thin air. And some people said, no, I want to see it through because of your lines. That somebody said that today, like literally because of your lines. I said, okay, so these are my lines based on the Wolf Wave, which I'm still learning. What if you get a pop? So yesterday, somebody said that, actually, not today. I said, okay, so ideally today, what I want, I kid you not, I'll go try to find it. I typed it. I said, I want to pop into 248 and I want to see it fail. So today's high was like 249 maybe. And I want to see it fail, but I want to also see the bottom of today fail tomorrow or next week, because then that means that, yes, we're on our way to come down to fruition. So somebody said, no, I want to stay in it. I said, well, then consider the fact to take a credit put spread to balance it out. Somebody heard that. Bill jumps into the chat room, says, whoa, I didn't take that trade. Is it too late to take it? I was like, Bill, are you looking for an iron condor? He goes, yes. So I gave him a tailor-made iron condor on CMI for Bill. It pays $200 per contract, and it leaves room. It wins if CMI is below 270 or 280. I can't remember, 270, below this area and above this area. So if CMI stays, I'm going to eyeball it, inside this zone, he makes $200 per contract out of thin air. So he wanted to do it the way I did it. I said, mine paid pretty quickly. You might want to do something different. So this is what he picked. But like I said, the live room, everything I showed you in these beautiful little things, that is not part of the service. This is gravy. If you want it, it's there. The service is me sharing trade ideas once a day, most likely, maybe skip Fridays. Credit spreads, hopefully. You can accomplish what I'm sharing via other ways. Somebody said, why not short? Because in this environment, if I short CMI and CMI spikes because Reddit loves it, you'll go broke. Your broker will liquidate you. If you were short GME or AMC and it went into their super spikes, your account was liquidated. Not like you got stopped out or margin called. You got liquidated because the losses would be so huge and infinite. That's the reason why you don't short stocks. Do you guys know how shorting stocks works? The way it works, okay, so listen to this. This is a lesson. This is what we do in the live room. I stop and say, listen, we have 320 people, lesson time, take a pen and paper, write something down, learn something. Okay, so I'll tell you why it's dangerous. So me and Bill are sitting down. I'll keep it. Me and John are sitting down. John owns stock of GME. I'll say, hey, John, I think GME is going to fall. John will say, no, it's not. I own the shares. I was like, okay, I'll tell you what. Lend me your shares. John gives me his shares. I sell them. First of all, I can't believe that's legal, but nevertheless, I sell the shares and I don't own them. I borrowed them from John. So now I owe John 100 shares. And then the stock goes up 400%. So now I have to return 100 shares to John. So I have to go buy shares at the going rate. And it's hard to borrow, hard to buy, hard to find. It's rare because it's oversold. And I have to outbid the other person. That's why buying begets buying, and you get that short squeeze because I'm desperate to stop my losses as they're skyrocketing. Somebody else is desperate to do the same, and they're willing to outbid me. I outbid them. They outbid me. I outbid them. And then suddenly they have to liquidate everything I own in order for them to buy the shares for me and stop me out. Not a good scenario. Now, I still owe 100 shares to John. I have to go buy them at whatever going rate. If I'm correct and the stock falls, then I just buy the 100 shares at a lower price and I return the 100 shares and I made the difference. In this environment, I would rather buy a put, where to short the stock, you buy a put. If you're correct, the stock falls, the put explodes in value, you make a lot of money. And the only risk you have is the amount you paid for the put. There's no need to go out and do these crazy shorts. Now you say, I don't want to spend any money. Okay, I got you. I did that today. Pray for me. Somebody said, hey, I want to short the XLE. I was like, gosh, Nevet. Okay. So this is like the worst ticker on the planet, I swear. And it's like a moth to light. I just can't stay away from it. So this came out of today, shorting the XLE. So let's work with that. Lesson time. Esteban, hello. You guys, go. Go. Hold on. I appreciate you being here. So here, check it out. So the XLE is here today. Somebody said, I want to short the XLE. The traditional way of shorting, you borrow the stock and you sell it short. And the XLE does this and you lose your ass. That's not the right thing to do. You can go out and buy a put and you spend $2 a put, $1 a put. So $100, $200 if you buy two puts. And if the stock does this, you make bank. Those $200 will explode in value. But you do need a drop. You need a drop and you're on the clock. As soon as you buy that put, tick tock, tick tock. You've heard the term theta decay? Theta is a killer. Theta is time ticking. Fancy term for time, theta. So if this doesn't come fast enough and your option expires and then it does this, you wasted your money. So what is an alternative that allows me to take advantage of the potential drop without needing the drop, without having time to be that crucial? This is the next best thing, a credit call spread. It's a way to short, but with limited risk. So selling a stock naked short puts you at risk for as long as the stock is rallying, okay? Doing this, what I'm offering, puts a limit to that. Why? I'm selling a call, which leaves me risk open to high end. When I sell a call, I am promising someone out there that John, that I will deliver his shares at that price. And if it goes to 105, I have to buy them at 105 and sell them at that price. That is selling a call. That is like shorting the stock, only at a higher level. That is still unlimited risk. It is still unlimited risk. How can I limit that? I buy a call above it. So I end up selling something called a credit call spread, bear call spread. You've heard of it. So I don't need a drop to win. I just need the price not to do this. If it does this and stops here, I win. So the only scenario that loses me money is this, versus me buying a put. The only scenario that makes me money is this. You see the concept? Buying a put, I need a drop. Shorting the stock naked is crazy, don't do it. Shorting the call naked is crazy, don't do it. Those two things have unlimited risk profiles. The definition of risk, step number one in determining risk is knowing the consequence. How much can I lose? When you sell a stock short, that is an infinite. Mathematically, you don't know how much you can lose. Theoretically, the stock can be bought out and it could be double tomorrow. You don't know. It is, and when you can't say what is your risk profile, you don't take that risk. Those are my rules. Rule number one, know the maximum level. I'll give you an example. If someone said jump between this ledge and that ledge, and I don't ask how deep is the hole in between, and it's an iffy jump, how crazy am I? Right? What if I don't make it? And what if the drop is 3 miles down? You look before you leap, right? You evaluate the maximum problem in case you miss. Well, when you short a stock outright or when you sell a call naked, you're saying, screw it, I'm not looking, I'm jumping, I'm very confident I'm going to make that jump. Nobody should be very confident in anything in the stock market right now. Anybody that tells you I'm 100% certain of my trades is a liar, and you should run away from them because they are taking exorbitant amount of risk at blind faith. Nobody should do that. The VIX is over 40% over its average for a reason, or whatever it is. It's too high for a reason. Okay, back to the task.
Hey, Nick, when you get a moment there, let me know when we can go over a couple of questions here that the members are asking.
Okay, let me restate the credit call spread and then you can take it. So the second best thing is what I did. This is a trade I shared today. I sold a credit call spread at 95. This was my trade, and then the price and then price went higher and it was available at a higher level. So I sold a $95 call that opened my risk, and I said you can buy the 95.5 call, and that limits your risk. If this wins, it delivers, I think, more than 30%. I can't remember the number. Let's say 30%. 30% on your risk. 30% on your risk. So, and the only way you can lose is if price does this. That's the only scenario that loses me money. A pop and drop does not lose me money. Okay, you go.
All right. Okay, thanks a lot for sending these questions, folks. Let me just pull them up here. I was grabbing them as we went. Okay. All right. So does Nick Chahine go over the student trade ideas? Yes. So there's a lot of feedback. There's a lot of back and forth. It's a two-way, three-way communication road between you, Nick, and you and the chat members, and then Nick with you, right? So it's a great community there. Let's see, are the sessions on Sundays recorded? Yes, they are recorded, and it's basically a 150 to 200 or more stock analysis that Nick does for the chat members, and the chat members submit those stocks. These are not random stocks that he picks out. And that's a great place to find trade ideas, but also to sharpen on your on your technicals and fundamentals, because Nick will cover technicals, fundamentals, macro, micro, industry analysis, all that sort of stuff. Let's see, is this for new traders only? No, we have advanced and new traders. Everybody helps each other out. This is a beautiful chat room. The community is great. This is not like one of these pump and dump Reddit or Discord chats with fake accounts. Everybody there is a real human being, a real trader. Let's see, what is the chat room schedule? It's Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. till 5 p.m. Eastern. And then Sunday's stock review is from 10 a.m. till 1 p.m. Eastern. Let's see, what is the price at renewal? It's the same as today. There's 70% off. It will not change when it renews. We're not going to pull the Comcast move. Let's see. Does Nick show strategies for small and medium account? Yes, Nick can basically give you a customized strategy. You know, you can just tell Nick, hey, Nick, I want to make $100 a day. What can I do for that? And he'll tell you, hey, this is what I would recommend. This is what I would do. And then everybody's got their own, everybody has a different account. Everybody has a different strategy. The fact that Nick is able to customize all this stuff is just great for you guys. Let's see, does Nick provide options education? Of course. This is all about education. Let's see. And then, do you teach strategies from A to Z? Yes, Nick hasn't even showed you guys. He's got some education videos on what is it's like a starter kit, you know, everything from what is a call, what's a put, what's credit put spread. David,
okay,
yes,
I can speak about that. If you're done, I can speak about that specifically. So today I had a gentleman in the room, fairly new. His name is Austin. If you're in here, Austin, hi, thanks for being here. So Austin said, I'm so frustrated. I'm so lost, kind of like. So I said, okay, let's get down to it, because it was at the time I drew upside arrows in the SPX and he felt like he missed out and he got frustrated. These upside arrows, this one right there. So we were right here. And I just nailed this crazy win right there. And I said, okay, so we might have a rally from here. And I double clicked in here to see the RSI. And I said, as soon as the RSI goes above this, it's a green light. And that was around here. And I said, that's target 1, that's target 2. And I had this already there. And somewhere around here, he said, I feel so lost and so frustrated. And I was like, what part of this did you miss? And we got down to the bottom of it is that he was overwhelmed with the amount of information in the room. And so I said, let's dumb it down. Tell me what you trade. I said, do you know how to do spreads? Yes. Do you know how to do credit spreads? Yes, but I've never done them. They told me they were super dangerous. I said, okay, that's fair. They are dangerous, just as dangerous as anything else. You're taking a risk, and it's a quantifiable risk. And if you do it willy-nilly, it's going to be dangerous regardless of what you do. So I demystified the credit spread for him. I gave him a video for iron condors, which was a complete mystery to him. So he's getting better at that. I'm getting better at talking him through it. So I said, okay, let's rewind right here and to tell you how you could have enjoyed the speed. And I said, some of these trades are not for you, because not every trade is appropriate for everybody. There are a lot of trades here I cannot do. Like this trade, which I nailed, I could not have done it. This trade, which I also nailed, I could not have done it unless I quit me doing the room. This trade earlier, same. So but within 10 minutes, I think Austin had an action plan, how to get better at being in the room. Other people jumped in and said, don't get frustrated. Give it a couple of weeks. You will. Pamela, thank you for being here. You don't need to be here. I appreciate it. So we went like 10 minutes explaining, and it was everybody pitching in. Don't get frustrated. Don't give up. It'll play out. And some of the terms are so repetitive that in the next few times you will like if you try to learn the language, first is "Cómo estás?" and then you add "Buenos días" and whatever, and pretty soon you're starting to speak. Oh, I recognize this. I recognize that, and before you know it, you're conversing to a degree. And one of the questions is, do I teach? How many things that I teach in here right now? So far, I threw quite a few things that are pieces of information that you can take and go. For example, you never buy a call right here, even though you could have turned out right, until you see them break out above it because of the prior fail. Same right here. So this is something that you can apply over and over. So if you heard me say it and you believed it, then you can apply it over and over. So I can tell you something, folks. I did not come from Wall Street. So my teachings, like today, somebody said, backspread, or I said, I don't know what they call it. I'm going to tell you what I say. Oh, I said iron condor. Somebody said, I bought an iron condor. I was like, you don't buy an iron condor, you sell an iron condor. So I wanted to make sure that he didn't actually buy He said it cost me net debit, which means he didn't sell an iron condor. I said, you may have done a condor, and somebody jumped in and corrected me. No, that's not a condor, because a condor apparently is some sort of a backspread where you buy something and anyway. So I had to correct myself because I learned the stuff on my own. The technical stuff is on my own. I'm pretty good with geometry. I'm pretty good with math. I've been a financial analyst before as far as number cruncher. So looking at spreadsheets, so when I look at an options chain, there are some things that just pop off the screen. And so it takes a little bit of experience. I watch charts all day. I answer probably 1,000 questions a week on charts. No joke. This is the Sunday list that you guys just heard about. This is 2 Sundays ago. This Sunday I took a break. 140 tickers, and this is Saturday night for me. I go in, I tabulate them. These are clickable links. How long will it take you to type this stuff up if you're just typing? If I gave you this copy and say, here, go copy it, how long will it take you just to type it up, let alone to actually do the homework on every stock? These are stocks I don't give a shit about, but because it's homework for you, I will do it with a smile on my face. Like, I will never trade tech resources. I know what it is. I will never trade it, or Tenet, or whatever the hell this is. This one I've heard of. UNG, I traded it for us, for the group. So did Twilio. UNH as well. Okay, so these are 3 trades right there that were winners. This UNG was a clobbering. I mentioned Bill. Bill brought me onto UNG because he wanted to do Boyle. I was like, Boyle is kind of a crazy ticker. I'll give you your trade, but I would rather do it via UNG. And it played out beautifully. UNH, I bought the dip, played out. Twilio, I bought the dip, playing out. Upstart, I own shares. I'm upside down, but it's only 20%. Verizon, I bought shares. I'm upside down. I didn't look at it. It's for the dividend. So let's say down 10%, but again, 20% share. And it's a small bet. Owning shares, I can sit on them. XLE, I just shorted. Zoom, we bought the dip. It's winning.
Yeah. And you do that Sunday, which is, I mean, the education is, that's why when somebody's asking, doesn't it provide education? It's almost like we shouldn't even go through that question anymore, because it's it's so
that's why I
man.
say no.
Yeah, but thing is, man, like going through 150 stocks in a matter of a couple of hours, it's some pretty intense training for traders, people that are new, because the people that are new don't even know what they need to learn. They're just trying to figure it out. So you get so much information from these, just the Sunday sessions, let alone Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. till 5 p.m. But, you know, you don't know what you don't know, Nick, right? So when people are new, they don't even know where to go. So I think it's a great resource that they, you know, you're doing all this stuff for them.
Correct. And here's Ryan. He's posting updates on CrowdStrike. So somebody said Crowd is reporting, by the way, Ryan contributes. And shares his success with me. So CrowdStrike reported after hours. Apparently it's been shellacked. So somebody asked me before the market closed, what do you think of CrowdStrike? I said, I don't know. I can read the options. And I looked at the options table in CrowdStrike. And so here's what I do. So it's like this week's options table. These contracts expire this week. So I look at calls, puts. This is the put side, and this is the call side. What is this? That's the trade that paid $1. For when I did it, it was $1.65, but I know most people collected 140, and this died today for 0. So they collected 140 and it died for 0. So we can cancel that. It's done. All right. So I look at the put side and I look at the call side. What do I look? I look at where the money is. So the open interest is that are the positions that were there before we opened. So that was yesterday's. This is old data from yesterday. The volume column is what just transpired today. So I look at this. So I see, okay, there are 5,000 transactions today. There were 2,000 here. There were 2,600 there. So I was like, okay, were these purchases or sales? Every transaction is a purchase and a sale. but I needed to know if they were done at bid or ask. And I have resources for that. And I go to the resources, and then I looked at it, and my statement was as such. I said, given the information in this options chain, I would not hold calls in CrowdStrike, and I would try to buy the dip if it falls. That was my recommendation on this after reading this. And it's down 18% after hours. So guess what? If somebody just read that statement, they stopped themselves from chasing a crazy stock. They asked me about a different stock as well. I said, I don't have enough information. That secondary stock that reported tonight, Splunk, I think it was Splunk. Was Splunk reporting tonight? Yes, maybe. So if it is, there's not enough data. Like, look, you can count them on your hands almost, the amount of the volume that was here today. So I said, I can't give you any information. I would misleading you. So with Crowd, it was clear that it's easier to fall than to rally. And I said, based on that information, it looks like it's easier to fall. I don't want to be holding calls. So if somebody did that, so tomorrow they can jump in and find out exactly what the headline was on CrowdStrike. Maybe I get lucky and see it here somewhere. They have news, no? I think they do. Search for CRWD. So anyway, while this looks, I would like to read the earnings and see the expectation to analysts. I don't give two schmutz about it. I want to see how they did relative to last year. Up 54% from a year ago. What is this? Annual recurring revenue, which is the honey, that's the mailbox money. Recurring revenue, so subscriptions, they grew last year's 54%. That's a lot. So clearly whatever they said was disappointment off a forecast or something crazy like that. So I'm going to read the details and find out if it is actually a game changer, or it's just disappointment off of missing earnings on some crazy analyst out there. First of all, I don't care about the earnings if it's a growth company. I will have to determine that. Second of all, who cares about an opinion? Buffett says estimates tell you a lot about the person, but not the company. So person doing the estimation, what if they're a bad forecaster? I don't know that. What is their record with all the other ones? How accurate are they? How many times have they missed? Maybe it's them assigning wrong estimates. If they miss all the time, it can't be the companies. It's always the company. How about him or her? Okay. So I'll look into that. But the point is, being in the room saved somebody, whoever asked about CrowdStrike, from chasing calls, hopefully, if they listened. If not, then why ask? So everything is covered in the live room. But like I said, everything in the live room is gravy. It's not the service. The service is my commitment to be available to you anytime you want. How does that happen? And I'll give you a credit spread almost once a day. Can't commit to that. I will try. If there's not one, I'm not going to share one. I'm making myself available 24/7. How? Not through email. Benzinga has a chat room for me, and it's the Inner Circle chat room. It looks like this. I don't know why it doesn't hold my dark mode. I tell it dark mode every day, and it goes back to white. So not the best platform aesthetically, but it is an excellent way to communicate. It's like having Slack. It's like Teams, Microsoft Teams. We can hang out here. Currently, there are 200 online. During the day, it's closer to 500 online. Live room has 300 and change. So it's not all the same people. We have thousands more that are not in the chat room at all. So the group is massive because we're doing good work. I've been working with Benzinga since 2011. So this is where you can reach me any point in time. They're in there right now. You can reach me directly. I think I got 2 or 3. I think this is a new person that reached out to me because I said I authorized them. Maybe this one as well. I have a message from EndoDoc. I have not gone there. This is my brother from another mother. I think that's the guy that looks almost exactly like me. His son said, share a picture with him. So there's a picture in there of him that looks just like me, minus the beard. Like the beard? That's new. Anyway. So you can reach me here anytime you want. What system for the chat room? This is just a web-based chat room. If you log into Benzinga account, you're in here. The other one is me. I share a link. I share a password. I update it often enough where if you read my morning notes, you will have all the information. If you don't read my morning notes, you should go read my morning notes. Every morning, I do have a note that goes out to everybody with pictures. So if you want to know what day is going to be like, these were my morning notes from this. And I also tell you how I'm going to trade the day. Last week, I said I'm going to be selling rallies. So I said, if we rally too hard last week, I'm going to be fading the rally. And I said, to fade the rally, I liked to leave room for error. And the only way you can do it is by doing a credit call spread. So last week I said, even though I see the upside opportunity, believe me, my targets have all been hit on the upside when we were in the toilet, but we got to them pretty quickly. So we need a healthy drop to build a better base. So I said, if we do rally too far, I'm going to end up selling credit call spreads into Wednesday. I kid you not. Those are my exact every day, every morning. What am I doing today? I'm finding opportunities to buy dips like CrowdStrike, for example. And I'm also going to sell indices credit call spread into the SPX into Wednesday of this week. So if somebody did that, Monday morning, they woke up to profits out of thin air. And today, clearly, was it a red day? I think it was a mixed day. So yeah, red on the SPX, more profits today. And on this dip, what do? I take the opposite side. So today's plan of action was, I'm not going to do anything drastic. We have Powell that could mess things up tomorrow. So if we fall into Powell, I want to buy the dip for a chance that the market wants to breathe a sigh of relief when he's off. Because he's an asshole. He needs to be off the screen. And as soon as he's off the screen, I know I'll breathe better and we will be done with him. So the move into Powell, if it's too green, I'm going to take a bearish bet because he's not going to say anything nice. So it's all about expectation. So somebody said, what's going to happen tomorrow for the open? I said, I don't know. They said, you nailed the close today. I said, I nailed the close today because I had data. Give me a scenario and data. I'll give you an educated guess and I'm pretty close. But you're asking me to guess tomorrow's open. I don't know what ADP job is going to be. I don't know what the GDP update is going to be. I don't know how people are going to react to that. I said, how about this? How about you make a guess and I'll make a money off of your guess tomorrow morning after the open. That kind of ended the conversation right there because I would rather make a money tomorrow off of other people's emotional responses to the headlines they see at 5:30 in the morning, my time, an hour before the open. And then I will try to make money off of their emotions when they start facing Powell, which I believe speaks at 1:30. My schedule said 6:30. Somehow my schedule defaulted me to Greenwich time or something. So I told everybody that read my note today in the middle of the day that he speaks after the market closes, and that is incorrect. So I have to correct myself tomorrow morning. Nevertheless, he does speak, and the strategy is the same. If we're too happy into Powell, I think we'll be disappointed because he's not going to say anything friendly. If we're too sad into Powell, I think I'll buy that dip because we are going to probably pop in relief, not because it's great, because he's just get out of there. The market will breathe a sigh of relief. So this is all that this is called tactical. Tactical, meaning I'm not investing big time in anything because we have so many question marks. I am invested in good stocks in good ways to where I'm making money right here, right now, without a big investment. I'll tell you what, I nibbled into Palantir and I'm sitting on a small investment there, 20%, 30% of a maximum investment. I'm waiting for better entry points if they come. If not, I'm already long. I'm making a lot of money in crypto. Caveat, I may lose all of it, regardless of how good I am. Months ago, I did some sort of a little seminar on crypto. Well, anytime I speak about crypto, I say this: the riskiest part of crypto is not the price action. I'm pretty good with the charts, so I'm never blindsided. In fact, I called the top in crypto a year ago with a video for the members. I said, we're going to drop to 20-ish, 22, maybe even 19. And we did. But I said the riskiest part of crypto trading is where you put your money. Which platforms do you trust? I open an account in FTX. I open an account in KuCoin. I open an account in Coinbase. I open an account in crypto.com. I ended up funding crypto.com. Don't ask me why. Every day, my login takes a little bit to go in. I was like, uh-oh, this is the day my money's gone. The riskiest part in crypto trading is where you put your money, not the crypto coin prices. They're volatile, but they're tradable. So, assuming I can get my money a year from now, I killed it in this drop. Even though I was long Solana, I traded it off the couch, in the cab, in an Uber. Like the last buy was 12 or 1180 that I did, and it went to 1540. I traded that batch. So now the coins I'm holding, I'm super green in. For example, Ethereum, I bought in the 880s. It is, last I checked, was 1100, 1220. So I bought it at 880 here. So I'm sitting on 40% gains. I didn't cash them out. This is a long-term investment. And it was like an epiphany. Let's talk crypto for a while. It held up. Okay, so let's go to a daily chart. I'll tell you the epiphany that hit me hard. So this is Ethereum. And this is the low in November. And these are the lows in June and July. Okay, Ether. Let's go to BTC USD. This is Bitcoin, the king of coins. It made a lower low than back here, June and July. Why? Because here everybody's freaking out. If everybody's freaking out in crypto and they want to withdraw their money, transfer the money out to their wallet, cold wallets, and I'll explain all of that if you want. We'll talk crypto for a little bit. If everybody freaked out and they want to make these transfers back and forth, guess what they have to use? The Ethereum network. So if they use the Ethereum network, they have to use Ether. They have to pay tolls and fees and charges, whatever they call them, in Ether. So the Ether coin, ETHUSD, held better than its last collapse than the king of Bitcoin, crypto. So it was like, wait, I should invest in Ether, because on the next crisis, this phenomena might still also be true. So like when you send a wire in a regular bank, you send it, it's probably going to go overseas if you're going to use a SWIFT network, SWIFT. Ethereum is a network that facilitates a lot of the crypto transactions. It's the dominant network. Ether is the coin that supports that network. So you pay the fees for the SWIFT wire transfer in dollars, because that's the international currency for that. In here, if you're doing it, if I'm sending my money to my cold wallet, I have to pay Ether. So there's demand on that coin. So what is a cold wallet? So when you buy stock, in the olden days, you got a piece of paper, your stock certificate. And if you bought it through Schwab, Schwab holds those certificates for you. So in theory, Schwab owns the account, owns the stock, not you. You're trusting them that they will give them to you when you call on them. So same with crypto. I own a lot of crypto coins, and they're on crypto.com. I trust them that I will have them when I ask for them. But for me to get my stocks in whatever company, I call Schwab and I say, can you send me the certificates? In the olden days, they would actually send you certificates. So you actually physically own those stocks. Well, with crypto, you can do that, and you can store those coins in your own wallet, which could be a hard wallet or an electronic wallet, but it's your own, and you can basically physically have them in your hand. So whatever happens to crypto.com, you got your money out, and they're in your hand. And nobody can take them away from you unless they steal that thing and they have your access codes. So that's the cold wallet transfer. But to make that happen, so if somebody ran to crypto.com and said, get my money out of there, send it to that place, well, you have to pay in Ether, because you're going to use the Ethereum network. Solana is a competitive network which got hit hard because it got tied with the headlines to FTX. They own FTT, the coin for FTX, whatever it's called. So they got hit hard. That could be an excellent investment, highly speculative investment. I still own coins. I'm green in the overall because I've traded actively, but this is, I'll give you an idea. First time I bought it was 165. It went to 192, 193. I cashed out. It fell back to 170 something. I bought. It fell a little bit and it went to 250-ish. I cashed out at 195 again. And then it fell to 40. I bought, and then it collapsed down to 27. I tripled up and then ran by like 40. I got out. So I'm actively trading. So I'm green overall. Okay. So crypto is a good way of trading, but the biggest risk is I may lose all my money if crypto.com fails. So you're saying it's a sham. It is not a sham. This happened in your Bank of America in 2008. That was a sham. That was fraud, and nobody went to jail. I think one person went to jail. So what happened back then? The banks of the world went bankrupt, and you couldn't get your money out of the bank if the bank went bankrupt, if not for the government's interventions. It took the world governments to bail the banks out. Why? Because they had a balance sheet problem. They had a balance sheet problem. What does that mean? They overextended themselves. They owned assets that were worthless. So their balance sheet, they thought they were this rich, but they weren't. It was garbage. So let's put it this way. If a bank has a run on its money, if you go to Bank of America, it's happened to me. My son wanted to buy a truck. I went to Bank of America. I said, I need to draw out $15,000. You can't. You didn't call us in advance. We don't have that kind of money here. They're like, wait, what? This is Bank of America. So if everybody rushed to crypto.com and said, I want to get my money out, crypto.com would fail. Simple as that. If everybody rushed to a bank and they want their money out right here, right now, they would, if they don't get bailed out for cash for right now, they would fail. Okay. So who in here would like to spend some time with about 300 traders every day, if they wanted to trade? I'll give you a scenario of every morning. You pop in, hey, what's up? What are we doing? Like literally today, somebody said, what's the Iron Condor for today? I was like, whoa, we just opened. I still gave them the setup. So if they took it, they made money out of thin air. And then other people who are momentum traders, they jumped in and said, what can I trade when? All of these opportunities throughout the day. So it is, if you're interested in that, tell me how you trade. Like if you're brave enough, tell me you buy calls, you buy puts, you buy shares, you swing trade, you're a fast trader. I'll tell you how we can help. Go ahead, I'll wait. Meanwhile, I'm trying to see if I can give you some directive for this week. So what happened today? My morning note said, if we lose prior day low, Monday's low, which was pretty horrific, then we are at risk of losing a lot more. So today we lost prior day low. This was it right here, the prior day low. But then we tried to recover it, and I believe we closed above it. 3957. Barely above it, like $2 above it. That was important. Swing trades. Okay, Pamela, we do that. Options trading. Hans, what's your time frame? Trigger, I don't know what you mean. If you're in here, in here, I post that link in here every day. You can just click on the link and you'll be there. I'm not going to disclose the link in here. Very basic options weekly. We can do that. I bet you would be pretty successful among us because we can set up weekly swings as well. No problem, Trigger. I like your name. No more than 5 days. Okay. So no, yeah, that's because it's no trigger, no trade. So you make things happen. No more than 5 days. We can do that. I prefer a little bit longer hands, but depends on your style. I bet you we can. All you have to do is just say, I'm looking to trade so and so ticker a week out. I get that question about 10 times a day. Do I suggest straight weekly options, calls, or put buys? I can. I prefer not to buy. But if that's what you want, yes, I've suggested it like 3 or 5 times today, at least. All these trades, these are call buys. This was an incredible put buy scenario. I said I would buy a put on the pop, and if the drop happens, I ride it all the way down. And this is what happened. So yes, I do that. Reverse iron condor, reverse credit spread. What is a reverse iron condor? Explain yourself. Okay, you trade puts and calls mostly on the weekly. You need good levels. I'm the master of levels. I'm pretty good with levels. What can I say? It's a lot of fun. I love it. I did put debit spread for QQQ today. Would it be better to do credit spread? Yes, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why in a second. I love that question. What opinion you made money? What's that option where you made money if the price stays put? Joseph, this is with Akhlash. Those two are the same question. I'll tell you in a second. I usually do swing trades, but this market is good for day trade. Yes, it is, Dandy. Absolutely. I'm not a day trader. I do trade daily, but I don't have to liquidate everything every day. And I find myself not holding much overnight, except for those trades I suggest, like a far away credit put spread. Not sure if you're seeing this or ignoring. I am seeing this. I just said your name, Akhlash. Okay. Do you offer a free trial? No free trial for you. You pay up or you get out of here. No free trial. Listen why. I don't like free trials. When I take a free trial, I don't put my effort into it. When I pay to get into somewhere, I put myself into it and I apply myself and make sure to use the hell out of it because I'm cheap. So a paid trial is a much better way of doing things. Listen up. I dare you. These are two statements. I dare you to find a better bargain out there. I'm in there with you 9 hours a goddamn day, 9 hours every day. You go find somebody out there that'll do that for you. You join them. And if 9 hours a day is not a big enough commitment from my part, and you don't think it's worth your money, then you're not looking for anything realistic. And I'm going to guarantee you something else. I'm going to guarantee you that you will become a better trader version of yourself if you join. I guarantee it.
Nick, so how many hours a week total? Like 50
I don't know.
60?
You do the math. The other day, I was in there for 11 hours and 20 minutes. And it's on record. Son, I can pull them up. I can pull them up. It's on record. The platform sends me a report. Here's your session for today. Here's how many hours you were in there. So I'm in there right along with you. If you cannot be in there and you can pop in and ask a question, I'm in there. If you want to spend all day, I'm in there. If you cannot be in there at all, I'm in the chat room available to you 24/7 at your leisure. If you just want to read my statements, you can read them twice a day, once a week, whatever. They're available twice a day, 2 different write-ups, twice on Sunday. I give a strategic market update on Sunday night. It's usually a video about 7 to 10 minutes. Strategy for the week. It's been gold, absolute gold. Do I sail close to the money, double the contract? Okay, Neva, I do both, so we can discuss that. So let's discuss the questions from a couple of people. I think Joseph said something and Akhlash said something, and they're kind of the same thing. Joseph says, what was that trade where you don't need to move to win? I got you, Joseph, hold on. And Akhlash said something else. Forgot what it was, but I'm going to answer both at the same time. The reason why I do credit spreads, the reason why I prefer selling naked puts into stocks I want to own, don't ever sell naked puts unless you want to own the stock. The reason why I like to sell covered calls if I own shares is because I like to make money off of other people's mistakes, and it's easy. Let me explain. Let's go to Apple. Okay, so Apple today had a freak out moment, some blah, 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 whatever. Okay, if Apple has a sales problem, we should just shut down the Wall Street. We should just go home. All right. So this is whatever stock this is. Hold on. Where's my
Nick, so what's going on with Apple? Is it because of the protest and all those things?
I don't know. Something that somebody wrote an article that the protest could hurt the sales. Well, duh. So okay. So anyway, regardless, forget that. So somebody's Akhlash, this is for you, and Joseph, this is for you. All right. The reason why I use credit spreads where I'm selling to open a trade and money goes into my account to open a trade rather than me spend money, because my brother is a surgeon. He doesn't know how to trade. He owns a lot of stock, but he just buys and holds. And I don't understand it, but he does. So that's what suits his style. So for me, I can comfortably say that without a market crash, I can confidently say that Apple should not be here, right? I can easily say that, much more easier than me saying Apple will be here in 6 months or 3 months. I'm not as confident of this statement as I am of that statement. Could we all agree? Okay, so I can make money off of my statement. I can say I am comfortable selling risk down here and collecting money from people who think Apple's going to crash or are looking for protection, than me saying, oh, I think Apple is going to be here. Let me buy shares or buy calls. So if I buy shares or buy calls, only one scenario can make me money. Only one scenario can make me money. Rally. If I buy shares, I can wait forever, which is not ideal, but hey, I can wait forever. If I buy calls, I need the move and now. Like the sooner the better. And if I don't get the move and the move delayed and then I get the rally, I lose. So only one scenario makes me money. One. When I sell a put spread or puts, only one scenario blows me out. This. If it doesn't rally, I make money because I collected the money. Somebody bought insurance from me. Somebody paid me a premium to open my risk. And if price doesn't do that, they lose. If the stock rallies, they lose. If the stock falls, they lose. If the stock falls a lot, they lose. If the stock crashes and I fall asleep at the wheel and I don't do anything about it, I could lose. Only one scenario. And when it happens, I can still bail out of it. Sometimes you can't, but with a stock like Apple, I'm very confident I can. I'll give you a perfect example in Palantir. So I like the company. Somebody today asked me, why do you love Palantir so much? Like, whoa. I don't love Palantir. I like Palantir. I don't love any stock. The minute you start loving a stock, you need to have somebody else make decisions for you on the stock. Palantir makes good money. Their P&L is growing super fast. They are hated on Wall Street because of wrong things. They are hated because of how much money their executives make, or the fact that they're losing government contracts. Who cares? They're still growing the sales. So if they sell more apples than oranges in one time, does it matter? Okay. I'm glad you know it though, Intrepid. So the Palantir setups were clear to me. I want to own shares for the long term. I said, I'm going to buy some shares. I paid $9 a share. It fell apart. I sold $8 puts, $8 credit put spread. They never assigned me. I sold 7.6 credit put spread. They never assigned me. I sold naked puts. They never assigned me. So I've been building into my position. So now I'm about reddish, but it's a long-term trade investment. And I'm only at 20 to 30%, maybe. It's confusing. No, it's not confusing, Joseph. There's only one scenario that can lose your money. So the scenario, let's say somebody is super bearish Apple, and you say, you know what? I think you're wrong. They say you're on. You sell a put spread. You collect money. They give you their money. That's the bet. They're the people hoping for a drop. You're the person saying, statistically speaking, based on the delta in the options chain, the market maker says, I have the odds in my favor. You're going to lose. And if you're right, and if the market maker is right, and that's almost all the time, you win, they lose. Versus you buying something and needing, come on, go. Nope, time is my friend. Let time tick. I win. All I need is tick, 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 time to tick, and I win. for clarifying that. I realized my 100% gains on the QQQ. Aklash, 288, 286 puts, expiration 12/2. That's this week. I wasn't sure if Apple could rise tomorrow and reflect on QQQ as it holds 13% of the Qs. Was it the right? Did you book profit? Yes. Yes. So was it right or wrong? Who gives a crap? You made money, right? You did the right decision. And here's another thing. Doing the right thing is almost never perfect. Never perfect. Hindsight. I'll give you an example. Today, I left $100 per contract on the table. Honest to God, it was a 10 lot. I left $1,000 of profit, on the table to book $880. Am I going to be upset over not making an extra 1,000? If I'm upset for making $880 on one trade today, what do I lose for a feeling when I actually lose money? So trading for a living is very emotional, and you have your ups and your downs. You need the happy times on wins to offset the sad times on losses. If you're sad on wins, you're going to leave the game. I guarantee it. You're going to emotionally get exhausted and leave the game. I keep reminding people in the room, focus on what's working. Stop beating yourself up over leaving money on the table. Okay? So there's no, I can't reach through the camera and yank you into stop trading alone, join a group. I can't yank you into joining my group. I can only show you what's actually happening. There are people in here that are in my group. They're not paid actors and actresses, and they spent 9 hours and they're here today. You want to make money? You want to make better decisions? You want somebody to do your homework for you and tell you how to trade the stock you want to trade the way you want to trade it? You want to buy shares? I can help you find better levels and avoid mistakes. I don't own calls in Apple. I don't own shares in Apple. My buddy Gint owns a lot of shares in Apple, and he spends a good chunk of his week managing his shares during these troubled times. I helped him sell covered calls to buy puts so he can protect his shares for free. So he's been protecting his shares for free. In fact, his defense is making him money because he owns shares and because he's spending time with me. And go find that somewhere else. I dare you. And if you say, no, I don't want anywhere else either, and you're still trading alone, you're competing against us. You've got us on the other end. You join the room and you'll see how accurate we are. And we're not alone. There are other people out there just as accurate. And you think you beat us? I challenge. Challenge issued. You're not going to beat the groups out there. You're not going to beat the market makers. I work with the market makers. We are that little fish that swims under the shark, whatever that's called. It's safe because it knows where the risk is and it's tucked in right with the risk. So I know where the market maker's money is, at least my interpretation of that. And I place my trades. The remora, thank you, that is right. And I take my trades where they need to lose money for me to lose money. So I don't take trades that requires the market maker to lose money for me to win. For example, strangles and straddles. They can win sometimes and they win big, but without an event, you're literally telling the market maker, I want you to lose money so I can win. Not going to happen on a consistent basis. It's not a good idea. Some people make them work, but it's not, they make them work because they're good at it, not because they are winning trades. They're not. Like I know a couple of guys that do well with buying strangles and straddles because they can time the exit and the entry. No, not the entry. They take the entry, but then they time the exits to make money on both ends, but they're super good with charts. If you're not super good with charts and you're hoping to win with a strangle or straddle, you better have an event and you better have the move be big. And that's not typical. Those are unusual occurrences. Whew. Okay, what do you want to talk about?
Let's talk about your favorite topic.
Powell?
Energy. No, the second one. We can hit a Powell in a bit.
Headline.
With energy.
Energy.
Oils.
Oh, I showed it energy today. I already talked about it. So you like to push my buttons. Okay. So let's look at crude oil. I've been saying crude oil is too expensive, and it's been dropping. I don't get kudos. I get crap for shorting crude oil stocks. I think there's going to be a crash in crude oil stocks. Let me rephrase. I think people who bought Exxon at the all-time high are at risk of getting stuck there for a long time. This is probably the easiest way for me to say it. This is Exxon. So they say it's cheap. PE is whatever. Okay. The PE is the price of the stock divided by the earnings, the E. Well, the E is supercharged in these stocks right now. I'm not picking on Exxon specifically. This is one of the biggest companies. It's because the biggest contributor to that huge E that is making the PE low, P divided by E. So if the E is big, that number is small, that means it's a bargain, right? What if the E disappears? And right now, oil prices are inflated because of artificial things. Meanwhile, oil prices have been on the decline fast, and this one has not realized it yet. So what if that E disappears? The drop is going to be mind-boggling. So I wanted to pick a fight with that, so I shorted the XLE. So why the XLE? The XLE is an ETF. 44% of it, the last time I checked, is Exxon and Chevron. 40% at least, maybe 45% of the whole ETF are two stocks. So this way, I'm shorting those two stocks and something else. So I'm kind of like, don't want to pick a direct fight with Exxon. I lost my last fight with Exxon. That was my only loss in shorting oil in 2 years. Every XLE trade I did won, but every XLE trade I did was a loser first before it paid me. But you remember, I sell a call spread where I only need it to close below my risk level, and it does. Side note, whenever you do a credit spread on the XLE, credit puts, credit calls, close it before expiration. Somehow the market makers make a beeline for you on expiration day or the day before, and they ruin your trade. Close it before expiration. I don't care how safe it is, which brings me to a question somebody said, how accurate is the delta? Super friggin' accurate. So if you're using the delta all the time to guide your risk taking and risk closing, risk management, you're head and shoulders above 90% of all the, I don't know the percentage, but a good portion of the actual options trader, at least the home gamers. What time frame are we talking here? On oil, I'm talking the next few months. So my prediction on oil is that oil will be under $60 by early next year. And I'll tell you the thesis. I mean, it's just a conversation. I'm not an oil expert. I'm not actively shorting, risking a whole bunch of money. I'm shorting sporadically and winning here and there. And the concept is as such. So OPEC plus now apparently is a thing. So OPEC and OPEC plus, which includes Russia, I believe, maybe another country, I'm not sure. So the CL, that's the crude oil prices, the futures. If oil is selling up at 100, nobody's going to complain about market share. So the oil companies, Saudi Arabia, for example, I'm not picking on them. Let's just use Saudi Arabia. I read somewhere that they break even on the pumping under $10 per barrel. So if they sell the oil for $15, they're making money. But in reality, they have to pay to run the country. So let's say they need it at $50 to include all the spending. So let's say they need $10 billion to run. I'm making that number up. Let's say they need $10 billion to run the country. So they need to sell enough oil to bring $10 billion to run the country. So they can get that by selling a little bit at a super big margin, or a lot of it at a super small margin. Somewhere in the middle, it doesn't work, because if oil is selling somewhere around 75, I don't know the exact numbers, you can do your homework. A lot of the Western pumpers start losing money, so they dial back the pumping. So Saudi Arabia would make up I'm using them as an example. they make up the loss of extra margin by extra market share. So, but there's a sweet spot where they're losing on both ends. They're losing the market share because the West is still pumping as much as they can because it's still profitable, and they don't have that extra margin that to make up. So it would be in their best interest to push oil lower to where the Canadian, what is it, tar sands pumpers stop or reduce it down to just service their debt. So they'll run at a loss to pay them interest payments so they don't go out of business, but not enough to, they drop it down enough to where companies, OPEC companies, are making a bigger market share sale to get to their 10 billion. And again, all these numbers are fictitious, but to illustrate the concept. This is my thesis. So there's a sweet zone somewhere between 70 and 75. I'm not sure where it is, that I bet you if we get close to the low end of it, you will suddenly see pressure down on oil to be below that significantly, to shut off all the Westerners from pumping. That's my thesis. Now, chart-wise, this chart is in the hands of the bears, correct? Forget what it is. It is losing by setting lower highs, lower lows, and it is fighting over a level that has been pivotal for a while. So regardless of what this is, crude oil or whatever, it could be company ABC. So back here in 2021, summer of 2021, they failed, they came back, they failed, they came back, they broke out, they came back, boom, yep, that's a floor, whoa. So if this rally fails into these two yellow and red lines, look, sell, sell, sell. If it comes back into these and they sell it, and they come back and they lose this, they take another leg lower. Same thing. They come back here, they take another leg lower. You see that how that channel continues down until they hit a level that says, okay, we've had enough. This is a good level of support. Maybe this one. So 64. I feel like John Madden. We got a player here. We got defense over here. Boom. Touchdown. Abe likes that. High five, Abe. I'm tired. It's the end of the day. I've been here all day. I've been in this freaking chair since before 4 a.m.
Well, I mean, that's commitment, man. I mean, you've done a lot for thousands, including myself. You've helped me a lot with my trading. So I think, look, we have a responsibility, Nick, to help the new traders so that specifically they don't blow up their account following Reddit trades or things like that, because it's happening on a daily basis. Either you hear about it or not.
I tell you a story. It happened. A gentleman in our group, I won't say his name, he today came in with comments that made my heart pitter patter. He blew up his account. He said, don't worry about it, Nick. He had just started and I'm going to come back better. And he came back better, and he had a good win after a good win after a good win. And today he made a decision to book a loss early or book a profit early and leave a whole bunch of money on the table because it was the right thing to do. And I was like, yes, this guy learned his lesson and he's back and he's establishing his account from scratch basically. But he learned his lesson because of being in the group and watching. And he's been direct messaging me progress, mistakes that he pointed out. I said, and he goes, I made a mistake here. I said, you made a mistake, but you know you made a mistake. I fight for a sport. So when I'm sparring my coach, who is unbelievably smart at fighting, and I make a mistake and I catch it, I can see him catching me making the mistake. And I'm proud of myself because I caught my mistake, so I won't repeat it. So if you drop your hands, he sees it. So he's waiting for you to drop your hand again. Boom, he nails you. So this is, you take it a step further, you drop your hand on purpose so he can do something, you anticipate him doing something and you can counteract before he acts. So this is where you know you leveled up. So this gentleman leveled up and he's building a good base. Hopefully he will have a long career doing this on the side or as a primary means of support. So I just gave you a hint technically that you should take, and that hint will make you thousands of dollars. Did you hear it? Did you see it? On this other chart, I circled it, and circled it. And here it is again. I'm going to give you 10 seconds to find it. That will make you thousands of dollars. I hope you saw it. If not, I tell you what, I'm going to tell it to the people in the chat room. Join. Talk about a dangling carrot. Hey, I got to give you something to join. But seriously, this is a little trick that will make you thousands of dollars. No, not that. An actual repetitive thing you can apply to every chart, everywhere, every time frame, fast trades, slow trades, medium trades. It applies to, it's so silly, stupid that when I learned it, I was like, wait, what? No, it cannot be this easy. Yes, it is. So never mind. We will chat it up. How do I join? There you go. Boom. You click on the link that is going to be in the chat in 3, 2, 1. There it is.
Right on cue. Folks, the chat is on the, I'm sorry, the link is on the chat. Let's recap here because we do have a bunch of people watching, right? So this is what you'll get, right? So 6 trade alerts a month by email, 5 to 10 daily trade alerts in the live room from Nick Chahine. And that goes everything from quick trades to passive trades for people that have full-time jobs, part-time jobs.
Who did 6 trades a month? It's way more than that. It's 4
No,
weeks.
this is separate. Yeah, no, this is separate though. This is separate from the chat room.
Okay.
The schedule, folks, Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. till 5 p.m. Like, who in this world will give you that much time? Literally nobody, like, seriously, like, people don't want to do that. The only people that really would do that, it's because they genuinely want to help you. So this is a great opportunity for you. You can recognize it or not. That's not up to me, but you can listen to the other members. You can listen to what they are saying, right? Proof of concept. And then the Sunday session, you have a 150 plus stock analysis with Nick, where you go over technicals, fundamentals, micro, macro, industry analysis, even possible trade setups. So a lot of people just pop in on the Sunday session and they get an update on their portfolio. You can send Nick a private message and you can build a relationship with Nick. You can do that. You can ask Nick, hey, Nick, I would like to make $100 a day. What's the setup? Tosin says the link has expired. Make sure you refresh that. Link is working. So yes, you can basically ask Nick, hey, Nick, I would like to do such and such. This is my account. Sorry. I have a such and such account and I'd like to make this much a day. Obviously, if you're new and you don't know much about the stuff, you might not even know where to start. My suggestion is to just immerse yourself in the chat room because you will learn from Nick, the other traders. And again, nobody's going to give you that much time. Sometimes it's like, Nick, this is ridiculous, man. Like you're there the entire day. And we're not just saying it. Like, he legit is there the entire day.
I am here. That's why I have Bang in front of me. If you're looking for an energy drink, I'm not sponsored by them. That's the best one on the planet. Half a can usually does you good. Today it was a can and a half. That is an unusual day for me. Okay, so I got to go to Home Depot because I had a water leak this morning at 5 a.m.
Do we have any plumbers in the chat room here? Might want to throw Nick an extra hand.
Any plumbers around the Laguna Beach area, come to me.
Okay, man. So, well, Nick, how you doing with time, bro? I know that you.
I literally got to go to Home Depot. How about Amazon? Amazon is a buy the dip stock at any major dip. We caught the dip. I will trade it again. I just need to find a better entry point. Let me see. On a daily basis, it's still cheap relative to its history. It can get cheaper. It will follow the market's progress. There is a trade against support. So we can set up a trade for Amazon. I shared a trade for Apple this week. I shared a trade for Microsoft for this week, but they weren't my trades. Somebody else wanted to trade them. I said, okay, if you insist, this is how I would do it. And I shared it. Maybe they took it, maybe they didn't. You have 4 contracts for a call. You own 4 call contracts. Okay. make sure you don't let them go underwater beyond repair. Your delta is your friend. You need to know the odds of success. You need to know what your pain tolerance, if they're red, if they're green. You have an exit strategy. If I lose X%, I'm out. If I gain X%, I'm out. If Amazon loses that level, I'm out. If Amazon gets to this target, I'm out. You need an exit strategy. Don't wing it. You won. You sound like you need to be in the room. Come on, join. You won't regret it. I promise you. The cost is chump change. I don't know what they're charging you. It's nowhere near enough, I can guarantee you.
I definitely agree with that. I mean, just the amount of time. And look, I mean, I've been trading for about 4 years. I've seen other services, man. There's a lot of garbage out there. They give you half an hour a day, just a little trade alert. Like, this is so much more than just trading.
The person that can't join until tomorrow, make sure you copy down the link. I don't know. Listen, email Rodrigo. He can help you out.
Yeah. So folks, in the chat, I'm literally putting everything you need. You have my number, you have my email, you have the link to join. I've seen people charging $10,000 a month for literally a month for what Nick is doing.
Last year's New Year rally disappeared. What about 23? Oh,
so that's a good question. What do you think about 2023? Like, are we still? When do you think inflation is going to come down?
Well, I'm going to dumb it down. Without a new problem, we should make new highs. I know it's not a popular statement, but look at it this way. What's the only thing threatening stocks right now? The only thing. Powell. And why is Powell so nasty? Because the economy is too good. So the economy is too good, and the government is trying to slow it down. It's so good, and it's failing. You let them dial back that effort or give up, what's going to happen to stocks? If you said Powell is done, are you going to sell Apple stock? Is anyone going to sell Apple stock? No. So if you leave the headlines out of the nasty headline, which is Powell, so without a new bad headline, like civil war in China is a bad headline. So civil unrest in China is a concerning headline. But if it develops into something more serious, that's not priced in. So I trade it one line at a time. If you tell me sell a put spread or short the market for next year, I would sell a put spread. Meaning I'm bullish, but I'm leaving room for error. That's literally what it means. Let me make money as long as we don't have a disaster. So I'm more optimistic than pessimistic. But I have confidence in the stupidity of politicians, so they will find a way to fuck it up. Whoops.
Oh yeah, dude. So why is it that you admire Powell so much? Like, why?
I love him. So by the way, I don't know if you caught this earlier. I was drinking out of this and I laughed because I cussed today, and I usually throw a coin in the coin jar. So today I dropped the F word on purpose, and I said, "Here's my coin," and I forgot the coin was in there, and I poured my bang over it, and I drank the coin, the Bitcoin infused. Yes, that's a Bitcoin. That's what they look like. No, it's not a Bitcoin. It's a Susan B. Anthony coin or whatever.
You're gonna need another jar pretty soon, the Nick. And so yeah, man, look, this has been definitely a great. Doc is in the YouTube chat. He says hello.
Hey, Doc. Doc is everywhere. He helps. He's incredible.
Yeah, and there are some people that I've met in the chat room that are literally not even trading. They're just learning. They're just making sure they start the right way.
There are a lot of people. So here's the question that I didn't ask. Nobody asked me this today. How much money do I need in order to take your trades? Here's the good news. You don't need any money. You need a paper trading account, because you don't go to war, pick up a gun, and start shooting at people. You go to boot camp, you take fake guns, and you point and go bang, bang. You need to trade with fake paper, fake money, in order to get the system down, whatever system down you have, and you'll do well. Right, and after that, these trades I mentioned, the trade that paid me 25% today, require $400 worth of margin. $400, and you can make $100 out of it. Imagine you can just make $100 a day, risking $400. So your job becomes they win nine times out of 10. And the one time you lose, make sure it's not a maximum loss situation. Make sure you stop out at X% loss.
So then, Nick, what does it mean when you say lose 400? Because if you do a credit put spread, you just get assigned. right?
No,
Or have
there's
you
no
bought
assignment. The
or
SPX, there's no assignment.
oh, right, because you're doing the SPX.
There's no
Right.
assignment. And even if you do the SPY, we don't let it expire in the money. That's the only way you're going to get assigned. No. The assignment is not a concern unless you're acting recklessly. So I've been assigned before, but different scenarios. Like I sold a put on Palantir. I sold the put in Bito to get assigned, and they didn't assign me. So I ended up making money out of thin air.
Right. No, yeah, there's definitely a lot of strategies, man. I know that you've been trading for about what, like 20 years, something like that.
I don't know, 600 years.
Yeah, man. So what's going on with the beard? Is that the new wisdom stuff coming out
That
or
is
what?
the no shave November thing, except I stopped
Oh,
shaving about 3 days ago. I'm from Lebanon, so Mediterraneans, we can grow a beard on demand. I can go like this and it goes.
yeah. So, well, the thing is here, Nick, that a lot of people do appreciate everything you do. For the traders here, thousands, literally thousands and thousands of traders around the world, right? Because it is an
Ala,
international community, right? It's people from the US, from Canada. I've signed up people from
we have
Nigeria.
we have a
Like,
whole bunch of people. We have a whole bunch of Arabic speaking people. We have Chinese speaking people. We have Armenian. We have Spanish, of course, everywhere. We have Italians. We have from all continents are represented, I believe. So it's a lot of fun. I have a lot of Lebanese people in there. We've become friends in there. Any French people from Canada? There are French people from France as well. I know of at least two. I can't remember the
yeah,
second
no, I mean
person.
it's a great place to make friends too. I mean, it's not just, if you're trying to make some friends and you can also join the chat room. But Nick, what would you say for new traders that, maybe you're looking at this and they feel maybe like, you know what, I literally don't understand anything that he's like, I'm so new, I don't know, I want to learn. What would you
Yeah,
tell
I
that
I will
person?
I did that today to somebody, but first, Rodrigo, Pamela is asking a question. If you can help them out.
Yeah, Pamela, send me an email. I
So
got it.
so today somebody told me that. So I said, "What do you know how to do?" And I said, "Okay, do me a favor, go watch this video." I gave them the link for the videos, the getting started. I said, "Watch this video, and then watch that video, and then watch this video, because that's a put, that's a call, that is a spread, and that is a credit spread." I said, "Watch all of these, come back to me, ask questions, and when you're done, here's another video." I said, "I will give it to you later. That's an Iron Condor video, which kind of encompasses everything there. It's a crash course in options." And then if they did that, when they come back, they would have leveled up their knowledge. And now suddenly when they're in the room, they hear these terms like, "Oh, I know what that is. I know what that is." They still have questions, but the number of questions shrunk. And then 2 weeks later, it shrinks again. And suddenly they're part of the conversation. And there are some things that they cannot do. They shouldn't do. Like, I know how to trade fast. I shouldn't do it because I will mess it up because I'm busy. All right, I gotta go, folks. It's we've been here for almost 2 hours, right? Hour and 45 minutes.
No, I mean, I don't know, we started at 5. It's like 6:45. So yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
So if you don't mind, I need to skedaddle out of here so I can get my day under control.
All right, Nick. So what are any closing remarks here before we do
Closing
move?
remarks, I'm begging you to not trade alone. I'm literally begging you. Please don't trade alone. And hopefully you can stick around if Rodrigo is going to be here, for him to convince you further that we are a viable option to be your trading friends. I can't stress enough. Here's a story. Friday, one of our members had to go do a biopsy, and he didn't get his answers until Sunday night as to whether it's nothing he needed to worry about. And the first thing Monday morning, people were asking, "What's the news? What's the news? What's the news?" That stuff doesn't happen if we weren't closely knit. I'm not kidding you, 300 plus people in there every day, all day. And that's the kind of camaraderie there is. There isn't one jerk in there. Yesterday, I had a back and forth with one person. His name is John. But today he's back. He's going back and forth. So it's not like he threw a fit and took the ball and went home. So don't trade alone. Be in a group. I'm offering you my group. I just presented all of my arguments to be, why is it my group? I don't have a hidden agenda. I'm not from Wall Street. Look at how I dress. I'm in my home. and I'm an engineer with an MBA in finance, so I definitely am not the Wall Street type. I figured out their stuff, and I figured out the lies and the truths and what really matters and what doesn't matter. And today they said, oh, it's the headline. Somebody said, this is all about the Apple headline. I was like, if it is about the Apple headline, then I must have friends on CNBC, because literally less than 15 minutes before the headline broke, I said, you should take puts. How did I know to do that if I didn't see that a weakness in the chart was developing? The headline just made it bigger. So you don't need headlines. Make it a no news December and you'll be a happier person for the holidays.
No news December, no news November.
Well,
Right?
the November is over, so let's do it
All
December.
right.
No news December.
All right, that's a new slang term there by Nick Chahine,
If you can
NTNT.
come up with a word like headline that rhymes with December, you can use that. No headline December, no lie December, no media December. I don't know, whatever. Come up with something.
Right. No, that makes a lot of sense, man. All right, Nick, appreciate you, man. Thanks a lot for everything you do here for the retail trading community. Big shout out here. Gotta make it official here. 1 second. Let's go. All
I
right.
appreciate you, Rodrigo. Thank you for doing this for me.
No worries, brother, man. I appreciate you too. Thanks a lot. So, folks, there you have Nick Chahine, lead trader. All right, top trader, #1 trader, the one and only, the real deal, Nick Chahine. Okay, a lot of you guys already know him from the chat room. Let me show you a little bit about this so that you guys, Ash Cobb, no, unfortunately, no. Prices are going back up. That is correct. Yes, it's only for midnight. It's going back to $2,000 after midnight. So if you want to get the deal, at least email so that you can at least kind of save the dealer. All right. Okay, so let me just show you this really quick. Hold up. So there's 2 channels here. You have the inner circle chat. That's where everybody's posting, right? So everybody, including Nick, right? As you can see, Nick is posting here. He's literally just posting here. Akash says that he joined. He definitely must have joined because he's there. I want to give a big shout out here to Mark Attorney Shapiro. What's going on? All right, so we got a new attorney in the house. And basically, folks, quite honestly, we have a lot of people in this chat room. I signed up this guy who he works for the Department of Defense. Really interesting conversation with that guy. And we have people from all sorts of, it's just, it's great. It's really great. There's this guy that I believe he works at UPS. I think that's, and his username is Paul Delivers. And I think he's there in the chat room. So we have people that work at different companies and they all give their own insight of what they're seeing out there, right? Things individually that they can see. And we all collaborate together. Like in school, they taught you to just do things by yourself. And, like in reality, we work humans, we work better as a team, but they don't teach you that, right? In school. But in real life, as traders, we know how this works. And that's why we have such a great community here, right? Doc is a great dude. Let's go. Is this the same Doc? Doc, is this you, Doc? Let's see, Flying Chariot. I mean, people are still posting stuff here, right? Is this this is the Doc that I know? Okay. I actually signed up a doctor that lives like a real doctor. I don't know if you're a real doctor, but I signed up a doctor and he lives in Florida here. Is that you? Basically, I got a doctor for free. Okay. I got a free doctor now. Okay, good. Check him out. Great doctor if you live here by Hollywood, Florida or nearby. Akash just joined. Shout out. Let's see who else we got here. G Mello. Austin, what's going on? Tom, Ardix. I mean, this is right now as it is. Look, there's 182 people live, 183 now. So these are people that are actively watching the chat room right now, okay? So I showed you, yes, Potana, this is different, but make sure to send me an email. I can see what I can do to hook you up. 1 second, let me post it there. Okay, I posted the link there for you. Has my email, has my number. and the link. That is the link that has the the discount and all that stuff, right? So I'm gonna go over all the package and all that stuff in a little bit. I just want to show you how the chat room works for all the people that did join. Okay. All right. So you have here the inner circle chat where everybody's posting, and then you have Nick's important messages. Okay. Once you go to Nick's important messages, and I can show you some of these. I can show you some of these things here. Doc. So you are Doc Q. Someone has the Doc handle. We got to find that dude. Absolutely. 1 second, please. Okay, Doc, we're gonna find him. No worries. I'll get you your username back. So in Nick's important messages, yo, what is that? All right. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. So in Nick's important messages, you can see that he's going to post this every day. And this is the post that he'll put every morning. So in the morning, right, this is about 8 a.m., right? So it's 4:43. I believe that's Eastern time. That has to be Eastern time, I think. Hey, Rodrigo, I sent an email. Please save a pot. I'm assuming that you think save a spot until tomorrow. Okay. You're dealing with patients. No worries, dude. What kind of doctor are you? I mean, I'll take all the free doctors that I can, dude. Okay, so Nick's important messages. You're gonna get here this post. It's gonna have a market commentary, and then you're gonna have the link to join the live session. So this is the static chat room. It's open 24/7. It never closes. And the live room is open 8 a.m. 8 a.m. till 5 p.m. So that link is going to be right here. Okay. It's going to say live session. And then you just click on this thing, you download it, join online meeting. And then you're going to, so it opens a little thing. I downloaded it and I can pretty much go in there at any point, but obviously I'm pretty slammed, kind of, trying to fix the chat room, trying to make this a better experience for people. Because as a trader, I've tried different things out there, a bunch of pump and dump chat rooms and things that were a waste of time, scams, honestly. And they're still out there. So I pretty much launched this chat room with Nick with the intention of building the greatest community of options traders in the world. And we have our own platform here. We don't have some, no cheap Discord or anything like that. And the other thing I want to mention, we do have sound alerts for all the people. So the sound alerts are here. Okay. So you click all. Do you see these yellow bells? And once the yellow bell is there, Graham, send me an email, okay? No, it's not. So once the bells are yellow, you're going to see that these sound alerts are on. Once you click this and you see they're not yellow anymore, that means that the sound alerts are off, right? But I just want to give you a quick snippet of what's really going down in this chat room, okay? So you have market commentaries, you have picks, you have trade ideas, you have technicals, you have SPY analysis, Twilio, right? Every morning with the free conference call, that's where you join the live session, okay? Live session. This is where Nick is 8 a.m. till 5 p.m. webinar style, okay? He's in the chat room as well. I mean, he even answers on Saturdays and Sundays. He puts in the hours, okay? He puts in the hours. I can vouch for that. It's our most popular chat room, quite honestly. So you have to buy a Benzinga subscription. Barry, this is Nick's chat room, okay? So basically, this is the chat room where Nick is, and that's where you can join to have access to him, right? So if you want access to Nick, that's where you need to go, at that link that we put in the chat. But Graham, make sure to send over an email. It's not the same thing, but I mean, I can look into that for you. Okay, so you see the live session, but then you have SPY, QQQ, IWM. So these are the indexes, if you didn't know, right? And these indexes, a lot of people trade them, or the triple leveraged or the 2 times leveraged ETFs that these have, including the IWM, the Qs, the SPY, all that sort of stuff, right? Or there's people that just trade the stock itself, right? So this is really important. You have support, you have resistance. If you don't know what that is, S is for support, R is for resistance. And it gives you, let me put that information. 1 second, folks. I'm sorry about this thing. I got like a bad cold. I don't know. I think I got COVID. I don't know. Okay. I put in the price there for the annual and for the lifetime for you, my friend, because I know I'm getting some questions on this. Now, let's get back here to the session. So you have the futures as well. We do have some futures traders. So there's people that trade the futures, right? If you get like an E-Trade account, I'm not recommending it. Actually, the total opposite, but I mean, I know that they have futures at least, and I'm pretty sure others do. Let's see what else. Earnings. We do not have a monthly subscription for this, Ian. It's only annual or lifetime. Let's see. And we are, as a matter of, well, I mean, look, I'm going to say here, even though like we haven't really publicly said it, but like there will come a point that we will not be accepting any new people in the chat room, because we're going to start. We're not really close to that, but it is, a discussion. So you do want to get in at least before we do shut it off, and just have the same members renew and all that stuff. I think right now we have well over 350 or more people there. Okay, all right, let's see what else we got here. So strategy for today, right? You get a daily strategy, even on Bitcoin. Let's see what else we can find. There's a video here. I don't know if you guys want to watch that video, but this is like a weekly strategy market video that Nick does. He only does it for the chat members, so you guys will have access to that. So quick recap. NM, I see that you emailed me. I put the answer to that question in the chat, but let me just answer you here really quick. And then we're going to show you guys the videos, okay? Also, I do want to thank everybody here for being here, for participating, for your attendance, for learning, right? For having an open mind to become a better trader. That's really important. Okay. Do you guys want to watch the video here? So on the Zoom chat, let me know. Doc, we got to find that. We're going to find them. We're going to find them. So Doc says Nick's morning notes are gold. Those and the trades he sends out are gold. The live room is the cherry on the top. Absolutely, man. Tons of cherries on top. Double says the link is not working. Double, let me send you the link here. 1 second. Free lesson, Doc. Okay. All right, double trouble. I sent you the link. That one is working. I mean, they're all working, really. Doc says, that's a good point. Too many members will take away the intimate atmosphere. Yes. Yeah, there will come a point. So what link is that? Troutster. Okay, so Doc says that every link is working for him. Doc, are you an actual doctor though? Okay. Okay, we're gonna watch the video. Okay, we're gonna watch the video just because Doc wants to watch it and he's a real OG in the chat room. Okay. All right, let's go through a quick question here. Robert Okay, Robert, I'm posting the link for you too, my friend. Okay, everybody gets the link. If you want to join. Okay, insurance agent. Okay, all right, I might hit you up then. Okay, all right, folks, let's go ahead and watch this video. I'm going to see if I can put it full screen. This is from, this is from last Sunday though. Okay, but this is just to give you like an idea, right, of like what this video is, and he puts it, pretty consistently there. All right, let's go ahead and take a quick look here.
Hey traders, Sunday evening
Let me know
after the Thanksgiving holiday in the US.
Let me know if you guys can see the full screen there. Throw some sort of signal there to know if you can see everything, the full screen mode. If anybody needs an insurance agent, make sure to contact Doc. All right. I don't know what type of insurance he does, but he'll probably be able to hook you up. Okay. Faucillo, yes. Neva, yes. Dean, what's up, Dean? We got Dean Summer in the house. I remember you, Dean. Doc says, I've hooked up several dudes with annuities. That's great, man. You see, people make money in the chat room so many different ways. All right, let's go ahead and with the video here, folks.
So we're opening overnight, Sunday night. The futures are down a bit, but let's put things into perspective. These are the weekly charts for the major indices. We've got the S&P on the left. Let's focus on that. So the logic says that we are selling rallies in the long term. That's a fact. Nobody disputes it. We have had a rally. We are having a rally. It's only a matter of time before we drop a little bit. Now, how much do we drop? That's the debate. There are a lot of perma-bears that are calling for doom and gloom. Maybe they're right. I think in order for them to be right, we need something new in the headline that's bad. Whatever we have on the table now, unless it drastically changes, is not enough for us to crash. Technically, we would need to lose this spot, which was the freak out from October, in order to call for these levels down here, which is what they're calling for. What we have on the table this week are a few Fed heads continuing to speak. We have a lot of data points. I think the highlights are the GDP update. I think that's the second update on this quarter. Now, everybody's worried about a recession. Don't get so wrapped up in the recession for the economy, because the stocks are already in a recession and a half. So the stocks, Wall Street usually prices things in advance, and the stocks have already gone into a recession from the highs, more than 30% drop. That's a recession and a half, technically. So the two things are not the same. Economically, they will announce a recession maybe, but in hindsight, they say, oh yeah, we had a recession back in blah, blah, blah. So what else do we have? We have the jobs numbers on Friday. ADP is on Wednesday, kind of a little preview. So we have the two data points that people are most focused on. Powell is worried about job inflation, so he wants bad jobs number. So then he will believe that his task of destroying the country is working. Are you hearing these words? That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to cool it down by destroying the jobs market. He wants us to be unemployed so he can be happy. So he can accomplish controlling inflation, which they help create. So we're in a circle. Technically, okay, we need a drop. How deep depends on the rhetoric in the media. How much do they want us to freak out over a number that's this way or that way? To me, it doesn't matter. I will still try to buy the dip. I told you last week, I'm shorting rallies by selling call spreads and leaving room for error. Those are working. I also suggested that if I need protection, I should buy it because the VIX is cheap. Buying calls in the VIX 2 months out is relatively inexpensive, and it holds value really well. I did a video on that not too long ago. I'll try to reference it up in the right-hand corner in case you missed it. It's important to have protection when we don't need it. So what about the details? So let's look at a couple of levels using the S&P. This is the S&P 2-hour chart, slightly shorter term. Things look a little bit more dramatic. If we drop from here to here, it's going to feel incredibly tough. It's like 6 or 7%, but that would be just early November levels. Okay, so we still have quite a few marks. You remember the
Just trying to see if I can increase the quality of this video. Hold up.
crazy rally from a couple of weeks ago on the CPI? It'd be okay. In fact, it'd be great if we can just close that gap, at least fall to those levels from that crazy Thursday, I think it was. 375. What? 375? That's like 25. Yes, because we rallied too far too fast. That's the payback. We have to go back, get firmer footing. At least not all of it, maybe half of the whole, that here. So 380 would be not crazy. All right. And it would be healthy. So because on the shorter term, we are buying dips. Next dip comes, how deep will it be before we buy it? And if we buy it, we come back to from where we fell apart, let's say Friday's level, boom, that'll be another catalyst and then another dip. But so in order to continue this ascending rally, we have to be able to absorb dips with a clear head without freaking out emotionally. And that's where the pros get separated from those who are winging it, going by their feelings. If we go by our feelings, we're going to make mistakes all over the map. So the plan is, on a long-term basis, we expect a dip because we are selling rallies. That's a weekly chart. On a short-term basis, we should expect a dip in order to buy it so we can have another rally and make a higher high, higher low. That's the proper. Now, the perma bears are threatening that this dip is going to be much bigger and we're going to lose footing from middle of or early October. And if that's the case, then yeah, we were going to have a tremendous drop thereafter, because then we're going to start selling rips on the lower time frames like this one as well as this big one. So we're going to fall to here and then much lower if they have their ways. Let's see how the media is going to spin it. By media, I mean all these experts in the media. So once again, the plan is simple. Ignore the headlines. Oh, by the way, there are a few earnings reports still coming. Somewhat interesting. The plan is, yes, I expect a dip because that's what we're doing. We're rallying and we're giving back some of the rallies. That's the S&P. This is the NASDAQ. It's even more clear here. Rally sold, rally sold, rally. Where will it go before they sell it? This is the small caps arguably are establishing a base. So how about we add a task? Let's watch where the small caps fall. If they fall and hold the 50% of this, maybe that's good news. I'm going to continue to watch the small caps. The Dow is in a breakout mode, but that's a crazy ticker. A couple of stocks can completely manipulate it, so I would not use it as a gauge, except for a risk gauge, the risk appetite gauge maybe. So maybe this is underlying good news, that if they're willing to do this in one index, these dips will be bought. Kind of a silly thought about it, but that's how it is. So again, on the higher time frame, weekly, the bears are in charge. They are selling rallies. That is a fact. On a lower time frame, here, the bulls are in charge. They are buying dips. That's a dip, bought. That's a dip, bought. Arguably, that was a dip, bought ferociously, too well. That dip needs to come back to here in order to come back to here and break out if we were to make higher highs. But we have to respect the mega bears who say, oh, buddy, this next dip is going to bounce a little bit and then make it lower low and a little bit lower low, and then we eventually are going to lose this. If they are correct and we lose this, hunker down. There's going to be much more downside.
All right, folks. So that was just a little taste, right, of the video that Nick will put there. Someone was asking, do you get the education stuff? Yeah, let me show this to you really quick. Okay, let's wait for that to load. This is the checkout in case you haven't seen it. It literally will expire in 4 hours. So after this, it'll go back to the old price of 2022. And make sure to, at least if you want to lock this price or anything, send me an email so that I can at least vouch for it. Sorry there, my cats. All right. So send an email if you have questions. Okay, send an email if you would like. Oh yeah, so I think I think I'm on mute. Okay, so I don't even know when I got muted, but let me recap really quick. Neva, just contact the general number for that. And these are the videos that you get. These are the videos for the trade setup. These are the educational videos, basically, right? And my computer, I swear to God, someone's like hacking into my computer, putting all these things there. Okay, so these are the education videos that you guys get. Okay, in these videos, you're going to learn a lot. This is a starter kit. 3 minutes, damn. Okay, so trade setup information. What are options and puts? Call options. What is a spread? Credit put spreads. When to book or set a stop loss. This is really important, guys. This is risk management. Okay, that's what it's called. And every trader should know, right? What is risk management and how to properly apply it. So Barry, yeah, man, it is a great program. It is a great program. I know because I've been working on it for years. And I mean, I can tell you, like, this chat room didn't look like this before, right? So like before, we only had one chat room, right? And then I was thinking, like, it must be so annoying to not have to, not being able to find all of Nick's trades or things because everybody's posting. So then my suggestion was to make another chat room where only Nick can post. And that's been the best thing we've done to make sure that you guys can get, the stuff with Nick, and then you have a separate chat room. The other thing that I'm being told, but I don't know, is that there's going to be push notifications set up. Probably in a month or two, around there. I'm waiting to hear on the developers about that. But if you have questions about that, you can email me, and I'll forward them to the team so they know that they got to start working on this ASAP. Okay. Because it's a great feature, and we should have this in the chat room. And we should push for that change. The users, you guys should also push for the change, so that it's not just me, All right. So let's see. Yes, Farsilo. All right, so this is the checkout you can see here. It has a discount applied. Okay. Okay, so these are the videos that you got to watch. Everybody that's getting into the chat room, even if you're new, intermediate, I don't care. You should watch all these videos. They're very good, very informative, and it just explains it in a very, very simple way. It's really important that you guys watch these videos because it's like the foundation. It's like a starter kit. So my suggestion, watch these videos. They're very important. Get into the chat room, okay? Stay in the chat room, okay? You're going to learn a lot from the other members, from Nick, all the education videos we have, and the trade alerts that you will be receiving by email. So Newbury, are you a member already? Because those are just for the chat members. Okay, so send an email separately. We'll send that to you. All right. So what type of trade is best? I think this is where I was. What type of trade is best? You got credit put spreads, covered calls, selling naked calls, selling naked puts, diagonals, verticals, iron condors, butterflies, I mean, there's so many things here that I know it can get confusing, but you got to start somewhere. So I think that it's really important that you guys get the right education, right? This is really what we're all about here. So I'll post the link there. Before I do wrap this up, does anybody in this entire thing that's watching have any questions about the chat room, about the live room, how it works, the trade alerts, how do you get them, like, how long the subscription's for? Any questions right now? Right now is the time to ask, so that, because we're all here, and I'm pretty sure other people might have the same question. So ask your questions. I'll give you guys a couple minutes here, and then we can wrap this up here today. It's been a great session. You see, like, somebody is playing this music, and I swear it wasn't me. So all right. Okay, folks. Do you offer no, we do not have any sort of scholarships or anything like that, Nate. You think we should? Okay. Hey Doc, big shout out to you, man. Keep being such a great member. I'll see you in the chat room. All right. And I'll give you guys a couple minutes here so you guys can think about your questions and put them there in the chat. 1 minute. I'll be right back. All right, all right. No, I was just waiting for the questions. Okay. All right, let's go through these questions. How much detail does Nick provide on the daily trades? So we went over some of those. Let me show you. So as an example, when you're doing, every trade is different, obviously. So let me just backtrack a bit there for you, okay? Staples or a staple. In the live room, okay, which is this link, Nick is posting active trades for people that are actively trading, okay? You're buying calls, you're buying puts. You can trade it however you want, man. If you want to buy calls or you want to buy a stock, the stock itself, you know, when we're trading SPY or the SPX or the Qs, you can trade it however you want, but he will tell you, for example, all right, this is where I would probably start adding some puts. Now, as far as which puts you want to buy, you can either ask individually, but for the most part, people are just buying the short-term 0-day expiration or weekly expiration because you want to make a quick move, just get in and out. That's the definition of an active day trader, okay? If you're not a day trader, then there are trades for you that are separate. It's very important to know what type of trades you're getting into and if they're for you, right? Like somebody that is actively trading and likes to actively trade, they already know what they're going to buy. They're going to buy short-term calls and puts, right? And if you're looking for a more passive type of trade, you can have things like condors and credit put spreads that are more spread out in time, where, you know, it could be 2, 3, 4 months out, or a condor, iron condor that you can do. And Nick will do all those stuff, all those things, and he will share them in the chat room. So, yeah, I mean, it really depends, Papal, what type of trader you are, because every trade is going to be different, right? Now, separately by email, you will get trade alerts. Okay, separately by email. Those are going to be longer term, maybe like 2, 3 months out. And those will be, for the most part, credit put spreads or covered calls. File Sargilo, maybe. K Hunt, thanks for the chat. Spaple. Yeah, I mean, what is your definition of a newbie, Spaple? Like how much of a, like, what is the definition? Like, what do you know? Do you know what a call and a put is? Because for people that are new, right? I don't like the term newbie, you know, but like for people that are new, that are starting out, that are venturing out into this, we have all these videos that are going to help you exactly like know what these things are. Calls, puts, credit put spreads, covered calls. So yeah, we do have these resources. Look, it's not as complicated as people make it want to seem, right? You just got to learn it one time, right? You only have to learn this one time. And this is a generational money-making skill set. You could teach this to your kids too. Like, I mean, that's pretty cool, right? So this is why it's important to learn this, guys. And you can learn it the easy way. There's nothing, these videos are so straightforward. Like, he's not complicating anything. He's not using any of these like Wall Street complex terms that they use to confuse you. You know, like, this is pretty simple English. So do you have less than 1 year, Spaple? Yeah, I mean, I would say, I mean, anybody with under 5 years of trading is really a beginner. So yeah, I mean, you can definitely get into the chat room. You're going to probably benefit the most. Like, people that are new benefit the most because they have so much to learn and they have a great community that helps them do that. So, all right, folks. So I think that kind of does it there for the questions. Big shout out to all you guys. I'm going to post the link here one more time before we do wrap this baby up. Just know that you have till midnight. You have till midnight to get this deal before it goes back to 2022. That's not my call. Okay, it's not my call. But make sure to, at least, if for any reason, you know, you left your wallet at work or who knows, so make sure to send me an email so that I can try to help you out with that. If you know, you might have to do it tomorrow or anything like that, but that's going to be on a case-by-case basis. Doc, 100%. See you all on the other side when you sign up. All right, so we do have a couple shout outs here. I have to give a couple shout outs, folks. 1 second. we got to give a shout out to Doc, okay, for being a great member. Doc is like a gold status member, in my opinion. He's helped so many new traders there. He's helped a lot of people there that are, that need help, right? It's a great community. You're going to find different members that are like that love to help, and that's really what it's all about, being in the right community. That by itself is the main difference. Okay. So let me get the air horn ready here for these folks. All right. So we have Sai Kumar. Big welcome to the family. Okay. And also we have Heather Pass. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, Heather and Mr. Kumar. Okay, let's go. Okay, folks, that does it here for the session. Everybody that has questions, you know where to reach out, you know where to contact. That's the email. You can call me there, you can text me there, it's all fine. And just make sure to send an email, folks. All right. I appreciate all you guys for being here. Thanks a lot. Thanks for making these sessions great. Big shout out to you guys. And we'll see you in the chat room tomorrow. So have a great day, folks.
Thank you.